Everybody at home? Stay put.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you, boys. Noodle, you're coming with me. Everybody else, spread out. Keep the place safe. Call out anything. Muzik, you're in charge of all the security. Keep these boys in line.
We're entering. They're setting up a 360.
Their tactics are piss fucking poor.
Got 2 up the west road.
Did somebody get a picture of them in line? I'm kicking myself.
Close the front door, Lemon, please.
Okay, stand by. Remnant. Possible contact in the tree line, 50 meters.
Sorry. Say that again?
Glad to see you guys got here in one piece. Good to see you guys are safe. Hope your travel was good.
It was. Good to see you guys,
You
too.
too, yeah. I brought some apples if you need anything.
Oh, thank you. You guys need a 1911 mag? With some plastic spray paint?
We do not.
Okay. Well, let's get down to business. Where do we want to start? We could start with what happened. We can start with how we're going to interact with each other in Nevaeh. Any other issues that you would like to bring up?
I would like to start with the death of my man.
Alright. What, like me to explain? Or...
I only got bits and pieces from your body cam footage. I don't exactly know what happened, and I couldn't really confirm with my man whether what happened was true or not exactly.
I can assure you that it was either a really good imposter, or it was one of your men that didn't really handle the situation that well, in my opinion. Would you like me to give you the rundown of what happened?
Yes, please.
Alright, Sergeant Diesel, Corporal Eman going out on a patrol to look for downed helicopters. We always check there for survivors. They, as you saw through some of the body footage, one of our guys spotted somebody in a shed. He was breathing. He caught up the guy, protocol, hey, we're you, and you're friendly, he just tell us who you are, and just the audacity of this guy. He was extremely rude. He was pointing at our men through the window, which a lot of your men couldn't deny was there, but the body cam footage truly shows that it was there. He then proceeded to tell us it's just be rude, like he had something to hide, just as Gilligan said before, just as many imposters said before, just back up. That's not a risk we could take. We gave him multiple warnings to lower his weapon, and he continued to aim at us through the window and just refused to identify himself. He had something to hide, and they had to take lethal force, so the risk couldn't be taken for that to be an imposter, because we know how many imposters, how people are to imposter you too.
That's true, but you did not positively identify him as an imposter before shooting, correct?
We actually were kind of thought he was the way he was acting. We didn't think your men would act in such a way, but apparently he was wrong. But either way, not identifying himself, that's gonna be a... Don't know who we can trust in that case if they won't even tell us who they are, especially in the tone and manner they handle the situation, like you up. I apologize if the men did for the life you lost, but he did not handle the situation. A good...
He might have not handled the situation very well, but the way that you guys handled it was not the best either.
As we said before, let's say he was an imposter, wait for his friends. We just sit there, keep talking, friends come in, wipe us off. We leave. He comes out, maybe he has a fucking sniper. Drops both of my guys. And again, if you got something to hide in a veil like that, it's pretty much evidence that you're, in most cases, a shitty person. I could say that, not saying your man's shitty, but he was acting as if he, yeah, he, just refused to identify, he tells who are, even anything. He told me if you end, my men give up a warning. They showed much restraint, and still, it had to be done. They're in self-defense. You know who that guy was. You couldn't trust him. No one has ever done that means well. The only people that ever do that are people that wish to harm us, or that have bad intentions. Again, we just assumed it was an imposter. He learned it anyway until we got some of his little tags you guys carried. And I thought maybe he stole it off you, but when the next morning when I heard about what it was, I couldn't believe it.
So you do confirm that you assumed it was an imposter?
That's what we assumed at the time, yeah.
Okay. That was my man that you killed. He was very frightened. You had superior numbers, and you had him locked up in a shed. I mean, there was no way he could retaliate against you guys. So.
Yes. You'd be surprised what one man can do. I don't think you're understanding the situation.
You still killed him. But that's done.
Okay.
Moving on.
We didn't apologize, but...
I'd like to know about some events that transpired a while ago. Do you remember a while back when we helped exfil you guys from a meeting location in Novaya Petroka? We took hostile attack.
That was the night I brought Blackpaw to meet you, and that a third party came, and that didn't...
We found it relatively suspicious that you had comms with Blackpaw, that they were your Overwatch, and that they dropped comms, you know, from you guys as soon as the attack hit, and then you re-established comms with your Overwatch? How does that work exactly?
That's not exactly what they were there for. They, the Overwatch that Blackpaw was providing, they were there for about a good half of what was going on, spotting hostiles moving around the compound until there was an eventual retreat. There, through maybe the third quarter way through, is when they had to bounce to attend to something else, and they returned late. And that was after all the shots were fired. Speaking of which, did you ever hit any of the people that fired?
Say again, I'm sorry?
Did you ever hit any of the guys that fired upon us in the industrial building? Did you get any kills with them?
We did not, because they were on Overwatch wherever they were. Way out. We couldn't see them.
We had a lot of contacts that day. But
yeah, we did.
I promise you that wasn't there. It was them that fired upon us.
You can understand how that would look suspicious to us.
Oh, of course. Yeah, when I first heard that, I'm like, oh, fuck, are you kidding me? But once they started establishing comms, also what was going on, I reevaluated the situation and understood what was truly happening.
What exactly is the UN's position with Blackpaw?
We are neutral with them, just with most others that treat us with respect and kindness.
You do realize the Brotherhood does not fancy the Blackpaw.
I've come to realize. That.
We're not too happy that, you know, you're working with them, or not necessarily working with them, but, you know, you trade with them frequently and things like that. Just not happy about it.
What? Understandable what they did to you, but as again, what is told me they have done no wrong to me. I don't condone what they do, but they're good to us. So. And our trade isn't that frequent. We had a run-in with them today. We chatted for a bit. Maybe, I think, gave one a fucking A color or some shit, and that was the extent of it. Oh, wait, besides chasing down somebody that was threatening, we got contact by a construction. But it must be nice.
Y'all's stance is to be neutral, is that correct?
In most cases.
Most cases. And yet you frequently trade with those people, those murderers?
Yeah. We trade with those who are kind and respect to us. Again, I never said I condone what they do. FMC, for example, I don't really miss them robbing people, but they're good to us. I have no problem with them. They don't do anything to us. For the time being, they couldn't. That's how we plan to keep for the moment. I wish they wouldn't, but nothing I can do. They're, again, nice to us. So.
Moving forward.
And may I
go ahead.
May I say one thing? I owe you an apology for one thing. One thing here. I told you Blackball changed, and I was right, but for a while there, I don't know if anymore, it seemed to be slightly for the worse. The fact that they were working with Gilligan. We were still kind to them, they were kind to us, but we didn't like it. But I thought I would inform you, since I was so dead set on having you meet him, which he's still interested in doing, but I doubt you'd still be interested in doing so.
Not likely.
So, yeah. Well, if you ever were for some reason, we stand in as a neutral party, but that's entirely up to you. I'd give it some time.
Moving forward, how can we, as a group, and you as a group, how can we move forward?
Well, what did you want to do moving forward? What were your plans? Just, be nice to each other, or full on, like,
we just keep seeming to have disputes, your men harassing my men harassing your men. It needs to stop. If you're going to be neutral, you're going to be neutral.
Agreed. That's another
I have something to say on this matter, if you don't mind, Grunt.
point.
Yeah, I think we should just carry on with mutual respect. We respect you, you respect us. So when we see each other, I don't think that any threats are good ideas on either side of the equation. And I think that when you see us, we've always shown respect, and we've always been quite friendly. So if you could ask your men if they could do the same thing when they see us, I think we'll get along just fine.
Where was your respect when you guys gunned down my man? You guys just kept gloating about it on the radio.
Because you attempted to slander our name when you said your men broadcasted to stay away from UN could be hostile, something along those lines. I don't have the exact transcript, but they heard it, and my men continue to apologize, and the fact that you attempted to make it like it was our fault and tarnish our name is what we took offense to, and why we had to evidence to show that we were innocent enough to.
Clearly not a lot of restraint.
Hey, bottom line with that whole situation, there's a guy in our territory, and he is being disrespectful. He was not being friendly. We were being overly friendly with him. As a matter of fact, as our man shot your man, he said, "I'm sorry," while he was pulling the trigger. That's how friendly we were to him. Never have we ever approached you guys with any sort of hostility, ever. So for him to not identify himself to us is just completely out of character.
Agreed.
He made a mistake that day, but he didn't have to pay that price.
Understood. If he would have said he was Brotherhood, we would have taken the disrespect on the chin and let him go. But he didn't say he was Brotherhood, so we had to assume he was an enemy. It was unfortunate, and we do apologize.
But we had to do it.
We had to do what we had to do.
And with all due respect, I'm going to ask this one thing of you because you guys killed my man. Y'all,
I hate
go
to
ahead.
interrupt, Raven. I'm getting some comms up north, and they're saying that your man that just interacted with ours, our guy's asking that he back up, come down.
Do you guys have...
which one?
He feels like you're trying to sneak around behind him, and he'd like you to come back down the hill.
The guys have backed off.
Okay,
They're
we just
done.
don't want any issues up there. Thanks.
Roger that.
Yeah. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what, before we continue, if you're able to say, what the hell are you guys doing in the vet? What's your, plan there? Just, hunting cannibals, or is there something bigger here?
We saw the opportune location of that construction site just off the west side to set up a lemonade stand. If you haven't heard, this right here is Lemon, one of our oldest Brotherhood members. She sets up aid stations for survivors. We provide aid and support for anyone willing to come to us.
Well, that's something that we do as well, so it sounds like we can be on the same page as far as that goes.
Alright. Now, in Nevaeh, now I noticed after that, just to clarify something, you said do not approach Brotherhood, like if you see them. That's not going to fly in our territory. We interact with people, we got to see you, that's just something that we're going to have to talk to you. But, and my men did not see that broadcast until after the event happened, just so you were aware.
Yeah, that's understandable. What we mean by not approach is I'm sure you guys have similar rules of engagement. If people are approaching you with weapons drawn, weapons raised, you have to treat them like threats. When people approach us, we just ask that they simply come in unhostile, just very cordial, and everything will be alright.
If they aim their weapons, yes. If they just have guns out now, people, as long as they're not aiming, they're good. We might ask them to put the weapon on their back. But besides that, as long as they're kind enough, it doesn't matter.
It's beginning to be harder and harder who you can trust around here.
Now, something I want to talk to you about is you guys can be agreed.
Say again?
Now, I wanted to talk about you guys in the Nevaeh. You guys, I said agreed. I wanted to talk about you guys in the Nevaeh, though. Again, we welcome all sorts of trafficking. We look having people around in the capital. It's nice for change from all the quietness, but we would ask that you would treat us, you would be, I guess, nice and actually communicate with us and not be as stubborn and sketchy, as I can say, as your man did. I think been worded lately. That if you see it's UN, say hi, we'll do the same. You need anything? No. All right, and we'll fuck off, do your thing. But we can't be having, just guys running around not talking to us, doing what your guy did before, because then, again, how are we supposed to know? Another incident could happen, or it could be vice versa.
That's
I don't
understandable.
think that's too unreasonable to communicate with us.
No, it's not. It's perfectly reasonable.
Well, very nice.
I'm sure we have more to talk about. What else did you want to speak of?
We've noticed that there is a camp not far from our lodge, our home, up in Star Yar. It's filled with y'all's gear. We haven't touched it as much as we could, but it is within our borders.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We are in the process of moving that right now.
That's fine.
Because we did want to do that before this meeting as a token of respect, but we are in the process.
That's fine. I was fine with it being there, but due to certain events, I'm just gonna have to ask you guys to move it. You guys understand?
Fair enough. And again, in return, can we agree that your men will not pull their stunts like that? Again, that they will be courteous and communicate. So all we want to do is help people. We can give you guys a hand if you need. But
I will try to convey it to our newer recruits. Something you have to understand about the Brotherhood is, you know how we do, you know how we operate. We don't plan on ever becoming prisoners, or captured, or tortured, or eaten by those who would do anyone wrong. So when confronted by superior forces, more than likely we will make a stand.
well, stand? Do you open fire?
As in, if we are engaged,
Well,
we will engage. As you saw that man, he was completely surrounded, but he didn't fire at you. He just wanted to go about his way because he was scared. Imposters, I'm pretty sure, imposters would just wear this yellow armband and shoot you for, you know, thinking twice, oh, it's a Brotherhood. No. We wear the armband. We do as we do.
As I said before, we don't know if you have guys going to attack us. We don't know if you have plans after we leave. That's risk we can't take in Nevaeh. Again, we're going to need communication if this is going to work out to avoid this situation again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're past this situation. I think we both spoke our piece on that. So I think maybe if we can just all be friendly towards each other, communicate if there's ever an issue, and we can move on forward in a friendly fashion.
I think we have another party approaching, Gilly, so I think they want to talk to you.
We got a Gilly talking to coming to
Yeah, coming to talk to you. So if you could tell your men not to shoot.
talk. Yep, they've been
Roger that.
Appreciate it.
Tweety, I'm moving to a crouching position, checking our right.
And
Sorry. One of my buttons is tied to aiming my gun. I apologize.
Right, Ender's going to be coming. Take a forceful
Wait,
stance.
alright.
The black paw issue is a big issue.
Alright, so things are kind of going well. Has Lemon been relaying what's going on?
A little bit, man.
Be advised, there's a guy on the road outside here.
Gosh, that man have busted open this car.
Yeah, he's coming in. Let him in.
No, another guy. Another guy.
That's close.
That's
Quill, he's with me.
out.
So I've been nearby listening. I wanted to push the issue of Black Paw, if you guys don't mind.
Go.
It looks like Ender's going to handle it.
Okay.
Okay, so
You got two
I think
UN out
I
front.
need to stress that Black Paw
Yeah, you are
has,
along the road, correct?
if anybody has a skill in having two faces, they are the ones. And I need you to understand that the face that they show you is very different from the face that they show their own members, and very different from the face that they show their enemies. I want you to take a look at Quill here. Does it look like he's very well armed, right? No?
Boy.
It's not a loaded AKM on his back. He was robbed about 30 minutes ago by Black Paw. Now, they let him go. They only did so because they didn't want to risk open war with us by killing him. Black Paw are not friends. They are not allies. The only ally they have are their own membership. Anybody else, they will use to the full extent to get at the people that they do not like. Do you understand that?
I am aware of the sketchiness, and I still don't trust them. But as I said, until they do something to us, our opinion is set in stone.
I don't think that
exceptional location.
Okay, so I want you to understand that means that as long as you are within shared information circles with them, then we can't trust you with anything. Because anything that slips through your mouth to them would be used against us.
Well, I'm not on it, but if you feel like you don't trust me, you can't do that, by all means, you don't really have to share it.
West to east.
We kind of just wanted to do our own thing. We don't want to get caught up in alliance at the moment, especially with the events and the threats we've received in the past.
Lemon?
I think we need a cool-down period if that's what you were getting at. If not,
so that's not where we're rallying, David, but that's okay.
I would request that you cut all ties with Black Paw. You don't have to fight against them, but sever any ties you currently have.
He just passed me, Or along the ridge.
Oh, on the ridge.
See somebody on the road.
Yeah, it's me, man.
Who's talking in game?
Ender.
We got a guy up here in the rocks.
Yeah, sorry, let's get him.
Say
Let's
again?
get talking.
What do you consider ties?
Communications, trade, the like.
Cease all activity with them
Stay where
immediately.
You're at,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep
It's in your best interest.
any and all joint operations that include Black Paw
I just got a huge
should
lag
not be
spike.
happening.
We don't
Cowboy,
really take
watch
part
out.
It's Fred.
in joint operations. We just talk to them and maybe give them
Keep your eyes on
food
that sick
or
foot.
a few rounds.
Hold
once in a while. And
Yeah, may I interject on this?
Fuck is neutral overwatch?
I don't understand, and this has been kind of confusing to the rest of our men
I'd
as well.
remind UN one
Why
more time. Their guys out
anyone
of here,
is
or there's
concerned
smoke the
with
next
who
time
we are
see
neutral with.
It's not. It's Lamar. He's on this.
Hey,
right
oh,
now.
I understand that.
Where?
I understand that if you don't want to share
Friendlies,
anything
two
with us,
friendlies walking up on you.
that's fine.
I
But
thought you guys
any
were-
sort of
Yeah, I had to go
ultimatum
retrieve somebody.
towards us because
Three
we
of
are
them.
neutral with
Yep,
somebody,
4 of them.
Wait, what?
that
5 of them.
that doesn't sit right with
Shut
us.
up.
I'm not
You
kidding.
can be neutral and avoid
There's-
contact with people.
there's only
and
two of
still
us
be
walking.
neutral
We should be able to
Alright,
see
well, there's
them.
5 of them.
True,
right
but-
there.
I'm trying to do.
What are they wearing?
We're not.
I understand, but
black,
no offense,
possibly green bandanas.
but you
What
are
direction?
not an authority
They're
to
moving
us.
towards me, man.
We see
Where
you
are
as
you?
an equal, but you
I'm right behind Remnant. I'm on
don't take
the
orders
eastern
from
edge.
us.
I'm moving
Come
back
on,
in.
this
I'm
man
covering.
right in
This
front of
could
us.
be Black Ball.
See him?
This could be.
Another thing I'd like to
What is it,
mention,
man?
just
Get an
like-
ID on what they're wearing.
Ruffle a few feathers, but
I don't know, man. Black.
Shots
out.
they don't
No,
try to
no,
make
no, no.
it cheap
It said for
feeling on here.
not me.
On the other hand, you guys,
Okay.
If you don't think they try and make you choose, then you are woefully
Hopefully they didn't hear
naive.
that.
They're scattering in the tree
They
lines.
just have a
Dang,
different way of
they
going
heard.
about it
Reader, watch
that's way
my
less
signal.
unfriendly than me. I will ask you. They will
I see.
believe
I say
you
we
if you
engage.
listen to it. And
Do I
they
need
know
to
that
ask
that's
if
part
it's
of the
their man, or
arrangement.
you wanna
that
just
we
right
will
now?
do and
Negative.
no.
Engage.
They know
Engage.
that you
Engage.
would
Oh,
be-
shit.
Oh.
Anything
Here,
coming
fire.
up this
Shit.
way is hostile.
It's from the east, correct?
Coming
Yeah,
up with
east,
you.
east.
Reader.
Incoming
Stay-
shots.
Stay close.
Hold this
Good
building.
call, Jared. I'm
Roger,
sorry,
Roger.
buddy.
I'm at the top. I'm at the top.
Losing Overwatch from Tweety. Me and Reaper are moving in on these guys.
shit.
No eyes
I'm
on the
shooting
west
past
right
you.
now.
Don't worry about these snaps. I'm shooting beside you.
10-4. Looks like they're heading back
They're
east.
running east. They're running
Yeah,
east.
they're running away.
Let's see if we can't catch them.
Nope, they're still all scattered around their east. Lemon, pull them out now. Chapin, hold that
I don't
passageway.
see-
They're gonna be
Nobody
coming
will
up
get
the
close enough
passageway.
to the building.
Goose,
so
make
I
sure
would
you escort them.
Roger,
I think it's
Roger.
time to
Sorry,
go.
sorry, yeah, I forgot.
I'm still putting out rounds. They're still trying to run around and get a position on us.
I lost sight of them.
My man's saying pull out
Yep, they're
now.
moving. They're still clustered around,
Raven.
kind of
That's
around
cool.
east.
This location's
Go, go,
been
go.
compromised. We're going out.
Stop it.
Alright, I've lost eyes now.
Okay, we pulled out.
Brotherhood is bugging out. Brotherhood is
We're
bugging
going.
out.
Is this Lamar with us, Vinny?
It's orange backpacks, Lamar.
I've got 1, 2, 3 bugging out.
Make sure once you get them, who just
Flare up, flare up.
Flare up.
Yeah.
Roger.
What's with the flare?
Hold your positions. I don't know. Hold your positions. Once we get our unit, we're gonna exfil towards the lumber mill. Watch it. They're gonna be shifting position deeper into the woods and probably come more west.
They're gonna move. They're gonna move.
He's
They're
down.
moving.
Alexi's just going. I don't even
He's
see
running.
the guy.
There.
He's standing up.
So that night after the summit, we all came down here. We were laughing.